All right, so last we left off, we've got our handle with our rigid joint attaching our cam here. We made a slider joint and put our follower here after we created our slider. The last step to this is we want to make a contact set between our cam and our follower. So when they contact each other, they interact. To do that, you go up to Assemble. You want to enable contact sets. When you enable contact sets, that shows up over here. So we want to right click and say new contact set. Select two objects that you want to interact with each other and click OK. Now, when my cam hits my follower, it moves it up. And if I push my follower down here and I turn the handle, it should move up like that. Okay, but I've got a problem. It moves up, but it doesn't move back down. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our resting area for this joint, my slider joint, and we're going to tell this slider joint to rest inside of the cam. So it's going to try to get inside of the cam, but the contact set won't let it. So my slider joint's right here. You have this orange icon that appears, or if you right click, it'll be Edit Motion Limits. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and select the orange button there because it's faster. It's on the way. What we want to do is we want to select a resting point. So motion limits, what that could do is you can limit the motion of that slider joint. It can only go up this far or down that far. And what we want to do is we want to have a resting point for this. So I'm going to select this now. When I do this, I'm going to push the resting point into the cam. Go down into the cam here. I don't want to go onto the handle. So let's try, let's see what 0.5 looks like. That's not enough. Okay, so 0.8. So I want it to go into the cam. At the lowest point of the cam, it's always going to try to get into the cam, but the contact set won't let it. So it should look like that, where it's in the cam here, but it's not hitting the handle. Click OK. When I do that, it's trying to rest down here, but the contact set won't let it. But when I turn the handle, it goes up, and when the handle comes back down, I'm trying to move it, it's not moving. It froze up here a little bit. These two will interact with each other. Okay, I'm going to try to move this another way. And one way that you can move this is this revolute joint. That's the joint for my handle. And this is attached to it, and this is trying to push down into the cam here. But I can right click and I can animate joint relationships. If I just animate the joint, it's only going to turn the handle, but if I animate everything, it should turn. There we go. It's kind of sticking at the top there a little bit. So you're going to find that this is going to happen. It's going to be problematic with some of your cams. See right there, it's getting to an angle where it seems like it might be contacting something because the two angles, the geometry of the cam and the end of the follower is creating an angle that is it's sticking a little bit. So you might need to modify the bottom of your follower if you're getting that sticking happening on any of your cams. But this is what we want to do. We want to put all four of our cams on here. And when we animate the handle, all of the cams should move up and down. You can see the linear motion created at the top of the cam here, or the top of the follower. And that's our basic automata. We're just going to have all four of our cams and all four of our followers in motion. That's what you'll turn in before we move on to the next portion of the automata assignment. I'm going to press